Car insurance rate doesn't have to take a hit. From Erie Insurance gives you a great rate that stays put until you change a car, driver, or your address. Plus, seriously good service. Now that's something to smile about.
Your Erie agent in Uniontown and Ross Traver Township is Sprowls Insurance Group, 724-437-9812, or go to sprowlsinsurance.com.
Erie rate lock does not guarantee continued insurance coverage and is not available in all
The
states.
views and opinions presented by the host, guests, or callers on this program do not necessarily represent the positions of WMBS Radio.
Don't stop thinking about tomorrow. Don't stop, it'll soon be here. It'll be better than before. Yesterday's gone, yesterday's gone.
And again, welcome to Democratic Hour on WMBS. TJ, I wanted to say something, and I just lost my train of thought. It was probably had something to do with the Pirates, because I know you're a big Pirate fan.
Oh, yeah.
Huge Pirate fan.
A huge Pirate fan.
How huge a fan are you?
Huge.
Huge.
I go there. I don't
Huge.
miss a game.
What-
That's my man.
Okay. This state in 1956. What happened?
I don't know.
For the Pirates.
I wasn't alive.
Well, you're a huge Pirate fan in history.
I'll have to look it up.
Roberto Clemente hit a inside the park grand slam that enabled the Pirates to beat the Cubs 9-8. They were down 3 runs. They came back.
And you were at the game, right?
No, I was 3 years old.
Well, heavens knows what's going to come on this hour. But again, welcome to Democratic Hour. I have to my left the one and only Doc Rowley, and of course, Rich Ringer. Guys, it's hard to believe. Just last Friday in July.
Yeah,
and here we are.
5 months from today, it's Christmas.
Yes, and about 4 months from now, we're going to have election. TJ, I told you, Justin gave me a call, and he was going to Steeler training camp, and guess what happened?
What?
I stood him up.
You didn't go. This guy.
No, I
man?
went to the fair.
You going to take him to the fair, this guy?
No. Oh, this guy. I told you, he's around and about.
Take him to the fair.
Oh, he's coming to Fayette County. Everybody be shocked. He'll be in disguise.
Oh, God.
Be better than some of our politicians.
Well, that's true. Well, that's the one and only Justin Timberlake. I have a little fun with TJ, and I've said this many times. Trust me, if he was a Republican, that song will never be aired on WMBS. And again, welcome to Democratic Hour on WMBS. You know, we do the show on Fridays, and of course, you know, from Friday to the next Friday, there's so many things going on. You know, we got a little program. Doc has some stuff. Rich has some stuff. But again, when we take calls, our telephone number is 438-4593. And also, if you have any questions, voting precincts, please call Mary Beth and her fine staff at 724-430-1289. I didn't see it, Doc, and Rich, I didn't see it either, but they come up with a new envelope for her mail-in ballots.
Oh, yeah.
No, I don't know. I don't know. If somebody messes this one up, I don't know what else to say.
It's supposed to be a lot easier and to understand. I haven't seen the mock-up of it yet.
I haven't either. But again, the fair, and I bring the fair up, we're going to have a booth. We put it up, Rich and I and Joe, this week. We're going to have our candidates out there, the one and only Jim Santelli, who's running for Recorder of Deeds, and Matt Lancaster is running for Treasurer. So you'll have an opportunity to meet and greet our candidates. Stop by. We'll have a lot of information pertaining to a real important yes or no vote on retention of the judges. Yes. And, of course, before we know it, November 4th will be here. And Rich, would you be kind enough to read the candidates for yes and no vote for retention?
Yeah, these are just, as you said, yes and no votes. For PA Supreme Court, Christine Donahue. PA Supreme Court, Kevin Doherty.
Mm-hmm.
PA Supreme Court, David Weck. PA Superior Court, Ellis Beck Dubois. And for the PA Commonwealth Court, Michael Wojcik.
So that's our candidates. Right? But when you go to vote, it's just yes or no. There's no D or an R. And these are all Democrats. But
and they've all served
10 years.
Exemplary.
10 years.
Great service.
Yeah, and
proven service.
So, again, that's a yes or no vote. And like I said, it'll be here. And, of course, our local candidates, Matt and Jim, and we have also candidates running for school board township supervisors. And we'll bring that up as we get closer to the election. Guys, I have a couple things I wrote down. Of course, the big news, other than the fair, of course, related to football, everybody wants to be around anywhere, wants to be at training camp in Latrobe. So the Steelers, as they've done for many, many years, have their training facility at St. Vince. It's a big deal. It's a lot of money spent when people go up in Westmoreland County.
Westmoreland County ought to like it.
They love it. And, of course, the Epstein files won't go away.
Well,
No, and of course we know, and Rich and I talked before the show, that all of a sudden the one and only decides to take a little trip to Scotland.
Scotland. He's out on a 5-day marketing tour for his 2 golf courses.
2 golf courses. He want to see. I think he's trying to get one of the British Opens at golf course. And speaking of that, I don't deprive of any president of golfing. I truly don't. But so far this year, according to all the figures we have, he spent 43 golf trips in his first 6 months, and it's cost us taxpayers over $10 million.
Well, I got an update on that.
Oh, do you?
For so far in his second term, golf trips to at least $52 million. And his trips to Scotland this week, obviously he flies on Air Force One.
Absolutely.
and those big numbers aren't from lost balls in the rough, right?
No. Or he probably doesn't hit a ball out of the rough.
Yeah.
That's one.
Oh, that's right. They say that. They get moved back somehow.
But the cost on Air Force One, and every president has the right to use Air Force One, is $273,000 per hour.
Think about that, folks. And here he is again.
And so for this trip back and forth across the big pond, $3.8 million is going to cost the taxpayers.
And we know what happened also this week. If I could get this to work, and I'm going to surprise TJ. TJ, you think this is going to work?
You and technology, I don't know.
All right, we're going to see. Well, that's what Congress just did.
See you in September.
See you in September. Who else has a 5-week paid vacation? Maybe we'll
and
see
they went
Guy.
home early to
Oh, they
avoid
left
the
early.
vote. Avoid the vote on the showing the files.
So, like I said, 5 weeks. Maybe we haven't seen him in 9 years. Maybe our congressman might come to Fayette County, but I have my doubts.
Yeah.
And of course, all of a sudden, all these congressmen are now doing town hall meetings. But guess what? It's by phone.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, there was a story this week about the one in, I think is north of here. He was going to have a town hall, then he made a teletown hall, and he was complaining that too many people from out of his district were calling.
Imagine that. Can't face the music, but right?
Yeah.
But again, I doubt we'll see our congressman. But he was in Pittsburgh for the Dog and Pony Show last week, and it was very important. It was a Energy Innovation Summit in Pittsburgh. And of course, we know what happened there, where Donald got off his script again. But speaking of that, I was going over some personal things the last couple of days looking for some stuff, and I came across the only photo I have of me being in Vietnam. The only one.
Wow.
And the reason I bring that up, now that was 50-some years ago, and I'm thinking to myself many times when I was there if I'd ever made it back to Fayette County, and we know there was 50 veterans that never made it back to Fayette County, if they would see what is going on in Washington, D.C., they'd have to be appalled because there's no stopping. Court orders, forget about them. Whatever he wants to throw up on the wall, he throws up. And prime example, Rich, and I know you have it there, he brought up, and also Doc, he met with the Fed chair down at the new renovation project going on in Washington, D.C.
With Jerome Powell. Yeah.
Yeah, and all of a sudden he pulls out, conveniently out of his suit jacket.
Like he's going to surprise Powell.
So go ahead.
Yeah, he pulls it out, and President Trump has been after Powell to lower interest rates. He wants them cut by three percentage points. The Fed has never cut interest rates by 3 points in one move. But anyway, he's trying to find out
Why the overruns?
Yeah, why the overruns? And he's using the overruns as a potential reason, saying
why I should get rid of Jerome Powell.
Yeah, be fraud or
Right.
cause. But taxpayers, there's no taxpayer money going into the renovations of the Federal Reserve buildings. None. All that money comes from the expenses that the Fed collects from banks they do business with.
The other, he mentioned there was a building, it was completed 3 years ago.
3 years
The
ago.
beauty of it is that Trump had it was in a trifold, the letter size folded down and waving that. And he said there's big overruns here and et cetera. And so he said, let me see that.
Yeah.
And he unfolded it and looking at it and scanned it quickly.
Yeah.
And Trump pointed up in the one corner.
Yeah.
He said, wait a minute. Wait a minute. You've got millions attributed for a building that
was already constructed.
completed 5 years
It's
ago.
already constructed.
Like I said, and he throws this out there, and of course, it's convenient. Congress left early. They have a 5-week vacation.
Mm-hmm.
Trump takes a little ride to Scotland, and
They said the early go home was to avoid a vote on
absolutely.
showing the
Epstein.
files.
and then getting back to our local races, we have a candidate who's going to air this show after us. I'm going to tell you how the MAGA, he supports the President of the United States. And John, why don't you do this? When you do your show, why don't you take some phone calls? Yeah, you bring up this transparency, drain the swamp. Well, I know one thing. We know who the swamp leader is.
Well, there's no transparency going on right now by him on his website.
We're talking about John Marietta's website.
JohnMarietta.com. He has a sweepstakes for the Steeler Legends. And it was supposed to go up to $3,000 by July 4th. And if it wasn't $3,000, they would extend it. Okay. There's nothing on there to indicate that it was extended. And the proceeds from that, half was going to go to the girl, Reagan, the little girl who needs surgery. And John, I commend giving money for that cause. But the other half of the money goes to John Marietta, We the People.
We the People.
Yeah. And you could enter the sweepstakes by getting a 3x5 index card and mailing it in, put your name, address, and I guess all that. The other way is to donate $25 or $100 to John Marietta, We the People, and you get a certain number of entry points. Now, I don't know how many it's gone.
Maybe
but
John should explain it. But last time I looked, the recorder deeds is a full-time position. You open office 8 and 4:30.
Yeah, and the thing is, and I just wrote this down from his site because it kind of shocked me. All contributions are final. No refund will be issued for any reason, including disqualification or delay of the drawing. So potentially, I don't know, possibility at least. There's no drawing and that money is.
They
bring
goes on forever.
Yeah.
They're collecting.
Yeah.
They bring up all the things here, the corruption in the county, drain the swamp. Well, John, where is the corruption? We still haven't been told, and maybe you probably do have the numbers. What did it cost this county for your shenanigans over the recent elections that you lost in the county?
Yeah, and now he's also selling bumper stickers, magnets, T-shirts, frosted beer mugs,
Gummy bears?
gummy bear. Yeah, what was that? It was for
sleeping.
Marietta Deranged Syndrome Sleeping Well gummies.
And John, I'll ask you the question. I don't know what you have going on at the fair. I want to see any product that you have out there is made in America. You brag about this president. You brag about you're the working guy. You support. Well, John, let me say this. In the years I've been a Democrat, I can remember like it was yesterday. I know what my father and the neighbors here where I was born and raised in Edenborn, they worked in the mines. I know what they went through for strikes. But you can rest assured over the years, that the Republican Party, now all Republicans are not bad, but when it comes to organized labor, you're for the little guy. When's the last time we had a raise in the minimum wage? And the other thing, too, speaking of that, you talk about all the great things this president is doing, but on one thing, we're going to make sure that we're going to find out before Election Day what this cost this county for the voter when they had to go to court.
Yeah.
Then you got to remember years ago when there was a plane coming into Fayette County to take all the voting machines out.
Machines. They
Yeah.
shipped those fantastically heavy machines to get them checked out.
And they're going to put them on an airplane
which had about a 60-year history of being foolproof, right?
Absolutely.
They worked.
And we have two excellent candidates. And you can rest assured, Jim Centelli, Matt Lancaster, it's a full-time position. And you can rest assured Jim will be there 8 o'clock till 4:30.
Yeah. And John, I'm not going after you personally. I've met you. I've been into your office. Your staff has been very helpful for me in a couple of things I was trying to check. I went on to your new website for checking property records. This is nothing personal on my front.
Nope, it's about, and again, you know what, when you go into the courthouse and you see the elected officials not in the courthouse, but the employees are there. They're there at 8 to 4:30, but the elected officials, and like I said, our candidates made a commitment. When they win, they'll be there from 8 to 4:30. And besides, you got a decent salary, you got health care, and again, you support somebody, and heavens knows, and I think, Doc, you have something there. 4-area hospitals posted losses in 2024 reports, and heavens knows what's going to happen here.
And those 4 are local.
Well, this is a double bad news. There's double bad news because last week we mentioned to you that with the devastation and the cuts in Medicare and all that's proposed, how everyone thought, Democrats said, well, boy, when the midterms roll around, it'll be a walk, it'll be a landslide and all. And because we had the ammunition from all those cuts. Not true, because they slipped into those in the last
It won't take effect till after the congressional
won't
race.
show up.
Yeah.
So instead of one person out of every 3 families having some hardship surface that they didn't have before, it'll be spread out and not seen. So that's the first bad news. And then to make it worse, we don't have to wait 4 or 5 years to see the ill effects already. 4 area hospitals, and this report of 2024 is an independent survey. The people watch over the expenditures are running in the red.
And
is that
4
correctly?
4 of them are in our area. Connersville, Uniontown,
So it's not
Greentown.
2 or 3, 4 years away. It's already here because of the lack of the subsidies and the reductions and the hurdles for getting insurance in the first place, just as they keep creating the hurdles to get to vote.
Right.
Well, and another thing that came up is the so-called proposal in a couple states. They want to change the congressional maps. Not every 10 years, where they think they should be now. Well, I'm going to say this, and I'm going to say it on the air. You can rest assured, if it happens, the Democratic Party in those states who have a commission, they should do the same thing. Now, think about that, folks. You do a
doing it in
census
Texas
every 10 years.
Yeah,
and you could gain a congressman or lose a congressman. And now they want to do gerrymandering so they could pick up 2 or 3 extra seats. And you can support right here, John, you continue to support. This is what you think is transparent?
Yeah, I mean, the governor of Texas has already called a special session. DeSantis in Florida today said that he's considering a special session to do gerrymandering.
Yes.
Like I said, they have no shame in their game. They'll, like you said, we'll do it.
But 4 or 5 states did get permission within their own constitution to actually have an independent commission present the map options to
Right.
the legislature.
We had one here in Pennsylvania.
And that was deemed the next question, could any other state do it? And so it went to the Supreme Court, Arizona. And they said, fine, that's fine. And those commissions are designed to make it about as equal as you can make it and still have a goofy-looking map, but that was to make it both parties even. Now, that's a hardship on the candidates because any given election could tip by a handful of votes, correct?
Absolutely.
But the people really get a good deal because then the legislatures have to be nice to both parties because it can flip either way in a given election. Is that not true?
Yep.
That's
So
true.
the citizens really, the states that have those independent commissions are really cruising. And we would hope that it sinks in more states.
Absolutely.
Not what you're mentioning, truly gerrymandering, Texas and
Florida.
And Florida.
TJ, we have a caller on the line.
We do. Good afternoon. You're on the air. Who are we speaking to?
You are speaking to Sylvia.
What's up, sister?
Oh, there was a few things I want to touch on. You know, there's not enough time in the week to catch up on all this insanity that's going on. But there was an article in our local paper on Monday, and again today, it was in the Jeers section, about a person who lives in Washington County that was picked up by ICE. Now, people think that, you know, this is something that doesn't affect our area or these are hardened criminals. You had a young man, a young father of two, Jesus Turan. He was from Venezuela. He's been here since 2021. He went in to check in at his field office in Pittsburgh. It's a regular check-in. He was not only detained, now he's part of the Carpenters Union, Huck. He is a civil engineer, like I said. He was first sent to the regional jail in Moundsville and then to a private contractor. How much do you think they're making on this?
Well, there's no doubt.
Right. Now, this gentleman is not a criminal. He's no crime. He went in for his regular check-in. His local parish priest, the former bishop of Pittsburgh, Bishop Zubik, the new bishop, Mark Ekman, the people from the union are all trying to get him back and to ask in the first place why he was picked up, retained, and sent away. He's active in his community. The community has come out in support of him. The church cannot believe this is happening. So people, you better open your eyes and realize that these are the people we want in the country.
Yeah.
We want a young man with his family.
President Trump said he was going after the worst of the worst, the criminals.
That's exactly right.
Okay, and
That's
then
my point.
they're picking up individuals leaving a church service. Now, what criminal would go to a church service knowing the DEA agents are out there?
Now, we know there are some criminals out there, but like you said.
And they should be put away.
And they know the percentage. It's a 0 point something, not even in the 1% range.
But did you know who we just got back from Venezuela with a prisoner trade? We got a man who was in Venezuela in prison who killed 3 people. He confessed to the murders, but he's back on U.S. soil. President Trump's administration brought him back into the U.S.
Well,
Here's a gentleman right here, committed absolutely no crime, doing everything he's supposed to. You know his biggest crime? He was born in Venezuela. That's the problem. That's why they picked him
Well,
up.
Sylvia, we know what he did on January when he became the president of the United States, what he forgave in all the insurrectionists on January 6th. You know, and then I get fed up, and I know a lot of people get a lot of calls, you know, about life insurance, Medicaid, you know, when the Medicaid or Medicare. But the one that really bugs me, somebody will say we're raising money for the police. And we know how difficult it is to be a policeman because you've seen some of the killings this week here throughout the country. But my whole point is, I said, I'll be more than glad to give you a generous contribution. But let me ask you this. What did you think when the President of the United States left everybody that was convicted by their peers
And some confessed.
Yes, and again, you know what? Then the phone goes dead. I said, so you want me to contribute, and I agree about the police, but this current President of the United States, until you call out the President of the United States, take me off your call list, because there's no way, and you know what, that I'll ever give a dime.
George, the other thing I wanted to bring up is the fact that we are allowing this useless Congress is giving money back to the president that they allocated for programs like NPR and now Head Start. The Government of Accountability, the GOA, just found that Trump illegally withheld funds that were approved by Congress, $12.27 billion. That was supposed to go to Head Start. They had to claw that back, Head Start, by saying, hey, where's our funding? The GOA found it. Now, this is a Republican Congress that's going to tell you how great, how family-oriented they are, how much they are behind people who want to have children. But they're going to take money back. They're going to let him take back programs that have children. And then they're going to leave, like you said, early, because they don't want the president who is lying his you-know-what off about a birthday card that he sent to Jeffrey Epstein. And if that's not Donald Trump's signature, I don't know what is.
It's probably not an auto pen.
Yes, and there's a book.
Yeah.
There's a book, and there's a copy of it.
Yeah.
But I want to talk about this governing by blackmail and extortion. Paramount Plus just paid $16 million so they could have their merger approved by this. And look at all the colleges.
Columbia College, $200 million.
Exactly. And then it cost us $134 million to send those troops and National Guards to L.A. And for what reason? So he could get into a you-know-what match with the governor of California. They had no business being there. And like I said, there was no riots.
No.
And Huck, the worst thing that I got to get off my chest, and I'm sorry, when I saw that AI-generated video that Donald Trump posted, and if you have not seen
I haven't seen
the
it.
White House...
With Obama?
You have not seen... Yes, but you have to look at the official White House account on X to see some of the crap that they put on there. You would think you would be reading something from a junior high person. He put on there a takedown of Barack Obama by FBI agents handcuffed on the floor with his hands behind his back. Now, can you possibly imagine what would have happened to Barack Obama if that would have been posted about Donald Trump, you know, the convicted felon? And now they're trying to say that Barack Obama is guilty of treason.
Well, remember when he said that Barack Obama wasn't born here in Hawaii, he was born in Africa.
In the United States, that's exactly right.
And he said he had...
the birth certificate.
And he also had boots on the ground in Hawaii to prove, and you know where that went.
Nowhere.
And again, nowhere.
Yeah, the guy from New Mexico or Arizona, I can't think of his name right now, it started with an A. He went there to investigate, yeah.
And
so
again...
now, like I said, Huck, that is so disrespectful in so many ways. But nobody
well, here's the thing, sister, and then we'll have a show after this and praise the MAGA, right? And they have no shame in doing it. Please, I said many times, John, 3 days a week, answer some phone calls. Take some phone calls. You talk about transparency and all the other things. Drain the swamp, but you won't take a phone call?
We are starving children
Yes.
in Gaza, in Africa. We have food in warehouses that were supposed to be designated to go there. And then we're going to make sure that people die of AIDS because they're trying to get rid of the program that George Bush put into place
That far, yeah.
in these countries. So we're supposed to be a country that's built on Christian principles, that is to help the poor, clothe the naked, feed the hungry. We're supposed to be doing all of that, and yet this president who they're putting up, comparing him to Jesus Christ, and I didn't do that, that's been out there, And yet, this is what we do to children. And we can't even feed our own children in the United States. We're taking food out of their mouth so that we can pay for a garden of statues that the president wants. Or whatever other program.
Yet,
I just cannot believe that you can tell me that you left the Democratic Party because they left you because you didn't like their values. But yet, we have this man who is defending, he wants the whole child molesting, child trafficker for Epstein to go away because he was friends with him. And Huck, when he made the comment that Jeffrey Epstein likes those girls young, don't tell me he didn't know what was going on.
Yeah.
And again,
So they can say all they want about the family party, the Christian party, whatever. When you have this man that is okay with starving children, I don't know how you can defend it. And molesting children. I don't know how you can defend it.
We're going to find out here in 5 weeks.
Right. And that's, and like you said, we need an accountability of what it costs Fayette County to look up and do all the defense of that. I'm still waiting for, like Rich, for that airplane that took those voting machines away.
Well, they were suggesting to take them out of the county.
Well, Huck, you know what? Maybe it was one of those magic acts, like David Copperfield and them used to make a plane disappear.
Well, remember when the president said that they couldn't see the airplane?
Yeah.
Stealth?
Oh, a cell phone. Yeah, they can't see it, Huck.
They can't see it, right? It was there, but you can't see it. And you have the servicemen standing behind them rolling their eyes like, he just say what he just said? TJ, we have another caller? Okay.
I'll let you go.
Well, we appreciate it, sister.
I'll see you out at the fair at some point in time.
Yeah, I'll be there.
Bye.
And again, my sister, excellent comments. And, this is what we're trying to compare what the Democratic Party stands for, what the Republican Party. Not every Republican thinks the way Donald Trump does.
Right.
I know there's polls, and you read this poll, Doc, and that poll, his popularity's down. But some of the things my sister said, and you said, and Rich said, and we talk about, when you're out and about, and believe me, I hope this week there's nothing happens in the last couple of years. Some
all the crap that goes
out at the Fayette County Fair. And I'll say this: I hope one day nobody has a booth out there.
Political party.
A political party. I truly do. But we're going to see how everything goes. And like I said, our candidates will be there. I would probably expect one of the justices that's up for retention may stop. So we're going to see how this all pans out. And I'm going to weigh myself today, Doc, and see what I weigh next Friday.
Okay.
Because right after our booth is probably the best place in Westmoreland County. It's a pie shop. If anybody been anywhere in Laughlin Town, right out of Ligonier, you can't go wrong with anything they sell there. And, of course, I'll go over and support the veterans on corn. They do an excellent job, and I haven't had any sweet corn, but please. I know there's different – you could get a reduced rate. I think if you Sunday you bring a church bulletin, you get a free. I think there's veterans. So there's a bunch of things. I know it's $20 to get in, but and again, the fair is about what it should be, about agriculture here in Fayette County. And again, our telephone number is 724-438-4593. So that's some of the things, like I said, won't go away. The SB files.
Got a caller.
Oh, we got a caller? All right, we're going to see who we have.
Good afternoon. You're on the air. Who are we speaking to?
My name is Jay.
Yes, Jay.
Good afternoon.
Well, thank you.
I want to I'll be brief. You were talking about Marietta's website. I can't believe this on his merchandise. He is actually selling, and you can get it on his website under the bumper stickers, Marietta Derangement Syndrome Sleep Well Gummies.
For $17.76. $17.76.
I mean, I'm not going to say anything else on it because nothing else needs to be said. That's where some of these people are. I called in another show and the radio station. I think he's misleading veterans about this.
Yes.
What he calls veteran ID. I have a real issue with how he is presenting that on the air.
Yeah.
Because you can't challenge him, as you said. I don't have any problem with somebody doing something for veterans, but all they are is local discount cards. But he calls the way he presents it is he's the one giving out a veteran ID. It's not something you can use at the VA or anything like that, and he needs to stop that nonsense. That's very misleading when he presents it. I've called another show at this station, more conservative leaning, and he actually agreed with me. I couldn't believe that. But and I've called station on this. If he's going to pay to get on their programming, he needs to clarify what type of veteran ID he's giving out. And I'll just leave it at that. And
Well, Jay-
yeah, go ahead.
Well, I'm looking at my driver's license, which I just renewed. Right on there is veteran. So if you're a veteran, you're recognized on your driver's license in Pennsylvania. And if you show it anywhere and there is a discount, you will get a discount. All he is trying to get some vote for veterans, trying to reinvent the wheel, and there's no need for it.
Yeah, there are state and federal cards you can get that are accepted, anywhere in the country.
Well, I've showed my one time Jiffy Lube, for instance. I told the other show host, you show your veteran ID, it's in their database.
Yes.
You're good. You don't need anything else. And I applaud that, but he's misleading. That's the problem I have.
Well, Jay, we appreciate you calling the other shows because that's the only way we're going to get the word out. Because if the man doesn't take phone calls, he doesn't take phone calls.
No, and another thing, and I'll leave it at this. This is disappointing. I watch a lot of C-SPAN, and I watched an interview with Linda McMahon.
Yes.
And this is the person in charge of our education, and I mean, the guy was nice to her, interviewed, but the guy brought up a legitimate point. She lives in Greenwich, Connecticut, in one of the wealthiest neighborhoods in America, and they're known for their wealth. He pressed her on some issues dealing with free and reduced lunch, with some of the CET schools where if you have 80% of kids that qualify for free lunch, they give the whole school free breakfast and lunch.
Yes.
And she had no answer. He pressed her on kids with disabilities, how she's trying to take that out of education. It's the Education Disabilities Act. I mean, this is absolutely somebody who is just so unqualified for the job. It's ridiculous to even listen to her. I mean, she was in charge of a professional wrestling outfit, and she's running our education for our future.
Well,
that is sad.
It was fake wrestling, too.
Well, right.
Her background is not, she would not be sensitive or know as much as a local school board. One member would be able to straighten that all out, and the model programs all over the nation, including the vice president candidate that we had, governor of Minnesota, right? Beautiful programs there.
Yeah.
So they have even the models up and running.
Jay,
I'll leave you this. I wasn't a fan of George W. Bush, but his wife was a teacher, and I remember her walking across the stage one time when I told my wife, I said, that's a teacher right there. And she at least has a little background, but I was ashamed for this country to listen to her.
Our most recent president, his wife was teaching community college.
And Jay, just like what they did when, of course, our man is gone, when they brought the Doge cuts, when you eliminate 70,000 people who work in the Veterans Administration, like I said, they don't care. And then you get people continue to support this. I don't. That's what I don't understand.
And they're eliminating jobs that are needed. Psychological counselors, people with diseases. I mean, they're ones that are right there on hands-on with the veterans. When we have a suicide and we have diseases they're coming back with, it infuriates me like you wouldn't believe. But I have to control my anger. So
last week they shut down the suicide hotline for teenagers for LGBTQ.
Like you said, Jay, we appreciate it. I appreciate you listening to the show, and I appreciate your comments.
Well, thank you for letting people call in, because that's what it's all about.
And I totally agree. TJ, we have another caller on the line?
Nope.
All right, we got about 7 minutes, but that's some sister brought up excellent points in Jay, and this is some of the things that hit locally at home, what Jay said. I mean, we got a local candidate, and it was political reasons. There's no doubt in my mind that he came up with this so-called veterans discount. which she didn't have to do.
No.
But it was for political reasons only. But like Jay said, John, take some phone calls. You know, you're a full-time recorder of deeds. But when you get on the show, I don't know what you're running for, because you go from one end of this country to the other end. And again, we're going to see, and again, with our local legislators. And again, where this budget process is, I have no idea here in Harrisburg.
You got 5 weeks.
You could rest assured that we won't have either the local representation here voting for the budget in Harrisburg.
Well, you got 5 weeks to have a town hall.
Town hall, and you can rest assured that won't happen. T, we got another chance for another call?
We do.
All right, let's
Have
see
to
what
do
we
it
got.
quick here. Good afternoon. You're on the air. Who we speaking to?
Hey, this is Ken.
Yes, Ken.
George, Rich, Doc, how we doing?
Good.
Great.
Keep up the good work.
We're trying.
Hey, tell me something. How long has Republicans been in the majority in Fayette County? How many years have they been actually pretty much in charge?
Yeah, you talking about registered voters?
Yeah,
or,
yeah, well, yeah, and just the Republicans that were voted in, you know, and we're still supposedly a depressed area, so they haven't really done anything other than toot their own horn. So I think it's time that that they give the Democrats a chance, and if they know anybody at all, you know, it's like you got to get out and vote for sure.
And again, with the Fayette County Democratic Women, with their so-called demonstrations, letting the public know what's going on here in Fayette County, throughout the country, and throughout Pennsylvania.
Yep, yeah, they're doing a good job. There is a rally tomorrow, 11 to 1 at the bridge in Connersville.
Oh, Connersville.
And the more the merrier, because there was a lot of people go by honking their horns and giving us the thumbs up. However, we do have some of the diehard Trumpsters. They go by and they give us the number one. So I think they're really glad that we're there, but they don't want to admit it. You know.
Well, Ken, we appreciate you calling. I won't be there tomorrow, but I will be at our booth here. We got to now till next Saturday when the fair is over. So again, if you happen to be out at the Fayette County Fair, stop by and say hello.
Yeah. And thanks for your special effort that you're putting forth. But let us keep in mind that in the past few years, with the registration shift toward the Republican side, we can't pat ourselves on the back and say, I or my one relative is going to vote. We're talking about we need 5 to 10.
And we know from previous elections, off your presidential throughout the Commonwealth, just not in our county, the numbers are out there. They're all documented. There'll be hundreds of thousands of people will not vote in the general election. So and we got to make sure the ones that do vote, to make sure they do come out, especially the super voters. And we have two excellent candidates running for office, so I know they'll be out and about and get them. Again, Ken,
I don't. One other thing, you know, with Epstein, there's no doubt about it that he was involved with him or a very good friend, and whatever they done, who knows. But my question is, who actually killed Epstein? Epstein didn't kill himself.
Well, I guess the cameras weren't working that day. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That was kind of convenient. And you know who was in charge of that? Wasn't Mr. Trump in charge of that?
Trump is in office when that.
Yeah.
Well, Ken, we're going to let you go. We're going to wrap this up. We got about 2 minutes, TJ.
Yep.
Okay.
2 minutes.
Thanks, Doc. Thanks, Rich. And like I said, anybody's out to fair, please stop by. We'll give you any information on what precinct you're voting. If you want to register to vote, we have applications there. And again, if you have any questions, you can call the Bureau of Elections at 724-430-1289. And guys, guess what? We'll be here August 1st. Hard to believe.
And you know what else is August 1st?
I know you're going to share with us.
The deadline on tariffs.
Oh, look out. Tariffs again, right?
Yeah, see if they go through or if he's going to extend them again.
Oh,
extend the deadline.
Well, wait a minute. Before we go, we got about a minute. He said something the other day. I don't know why. I just thought about that. He was going to bring down drugs by 1,000%. Not 10%, 1,000%. Please. Now, that's what he said. I didn't make this up. That's what Trump said. somewhere. It could be a 500, maybe it's 700, 1,500, 1,000%. You tell me how you bring down 1,000% on prescription drugs. TJ, thanks for keeping the show going. We'll be back here next Friday, August 1st, and we're going to take it to the streets, and I hope I see a lot of people stop by our booth out at the fair. Everybody have a great weekend, hot weekend.
Go Pirates.
Yep, go Pirates. That'll make TJ happy. He's shaking his head.
Here, TJ.
We got to tease our producer. And again, everybody have a great weekend. We'll be back here next week, and we're going to take it to the streets like we always do.
You have been listening to the Democratic Radio Hour, heard every Friday at 3:15, right here on 590 AM, 101.1 FM, WMBS.
And we have some light rain in 83. You're listening to WMBS Uniontown at 4 o'clock.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by